The latest installment to the Pokemon franchise has dropped, and it's been out for over a week now. Whether you're looking to get the game, if you've already bought the game, or if you're somebody from the outside looking in and just wondering whether everything that people have been saying is true and looking for a review of the game, or like somebody that's actually played the game to tell you guys how it actually is. Is this worth $70 for this game, and then like another 30 for possible DLC if you want to buy that as well? And then that's not even including online. Is it worth that, or are we just better off waiting for Generation 10? Or should we be holding Game Freak over the coals and holding them accountable for making a pile of shit Pokemon game? I'm going to tell you guys everything about Legends ZA and whether it's worth the money and all that type of stuff. The good, the bad, and everything about this game. I've had close to about 100 hours into the game now, and it's barely been out for over a week. Just goes to show how much I've actually been playing the game. So, been wanting to do this video for quite a while, and it's going to be a long video. I'm going to talk about literally everything that's on my mind in this video. So, if you guys don't like long videos, or if you guys just want to tab out and listen to me talk in the background, that's completely fine as well. But I will have some stuff on screen kind of showing some specific things from the game and all that type of stuff. So, there also is spoilers, so if you don't want to be spoiled by the game, that's your only warning. I'm getting right into this. Pretty much the game starts out, like the general gist of this game is there is a battle royale, like ZA Royale for all the trainers in this the Lumiose region for this game. You start at the bottom, you climb your way all the way up to A tier. A tier is the one trainer that is the best in the entire region, pretty much, and whoever wins and becomes the #1 trainer in the entire region gets, like, I think a one wish or some shit that they get granted to them. As long as it's possible, they like get one free wish or whatever it may be. So you have everybody trying to compete to be the best trainer in the region. Meanwhile, there's also stuff going on with like mega evolutions and like mega power radiating from Lumiose Tower. It's causing Pokemon to go rogue and like go crazy with like mega evolution power, and they're trying to like kind of combat it, or like find a way to stop it so it doesn't get completely out of control, which is kind of the main things kind of going into this game, and like trying to stop it before it goes out of control, or like already is pretty much, as you'll find out getting into the game. So pretty much at night you're battling, and then like during the day, overall what you're going to be doing during the day is just fighting the rogue mega evolutions, which is going to be the main thing for this game. Fighting rogue mega evolutions after a certain point, after you get about like halfway through the game. I think it's like mission 8 or mission 9 or 10, around there is when you start getting into that point in the game where you're fighting the rogue mega evolutions. If you're not doing that, then you're usually trying to like find your promotional match opponent for the legend or for the ZA Royale, and then trying to rank up through that during the night, doing your battles, and then trying to battle the person or find who it is or whoever it may be in that type of story, whatever they want to throw at you with that during the day as well. So, meanwhile, you can also catch Pokemon. There's different places to catch Pokemon on the map and all that type of stuff, and you can pretty much do whatever you want during the day, but there is a day and a night cycle to this game. And during the night cycle, like, you can also catch Pokemon and do a bunch of other stuff. The main difference is like the battling and the battle for the ZA Royale is only active at night. You can't do that during the day, which is kind of just the main difference. And also, a bunch of different Pokemon also spawn during the wild zones and like the wild areas during the night and during the day, which is kind of only the main difference between night and day cycle in this game. So I like that the game does have a day and a night cycle, and you can also manipulate it by like sitting on a park bench or like any type of bench that is in the environment and just skip time, so you can just kind of shift between night and day depending on what you need. So that's also really cool. You don't have to sit and wait like 35 minutes or whatever it is for a night and a day cycle to pass. So AZ is back. Pretty much where you start out, at the Hotel ZA, which is pretty much the place that you're staying at. Or I guess AZ, if you guys know him from, I think it's Pokemon X and Y, he was also one of the main characters in that game towards the end of the game with a lot of the lore. He's back. He actually has his own motel, and that's where you're staying. That's where you meet the other like main characters that are going to be kind of fighting alongside you and going alongside you on your journey throughout this game. Lita, which is I think she's like a dancer or whatever. She wants to be like a high ranked trainer and she's like a star dancer or whatever it is. She looks cool. Like I like Lita. She's one of my more favorite characters in the game. I feel like she's just kind of boring at times though, and there's not really too much involving her. She's pretty much the mega starmy girl. That's kind of how I know her of. Apart from that, she looks cool, and that's about all I really care about for her. Tawny's another like main character, kind of the one that's supposed to be alongside you and like the second main star of the entire game. I think she's terrible, I really do. Somehow she ends up getting to be like the same rank as you towards the end of the game through the ZA Royale, but she's probably one of the worst trainers in the entire game. In my honest opinion, I don't know how she's even on the same level as you towards the end, especially with how stupid they make her out to be throughout like a lot of the story and like that type of thing. She's kind of one of those like dingy type characters where like some shit she does is just really stupid, but then they try to play her up to make her look like smart and like a few other things. I don't know. I don't care for Tawny at all. I really don't, but she's there. She's kind of the main number 2 in this entire game. Then you have Naveen, which is also kind of like another one of the characters that's going to be like on your journey with like one of the main people. All you need to know about Naveen is he's a cringe fashion designer slash like artist, and the guy is an incel simp for somebody called Kanari, which we'll talk about. Probably one of my other favorite character, the main favorite character in this entire game, which we'll talk about. We'll talk about Kanari, but he's pretty much like a projection of like a bunch of the terminally online people. I don't know if they're astral projecting or not, but that's kind of what he really is. He's a fashion designer artist that's a simp for an idol online, pretty much, or like a quote-unquote like VTuber type of idol online, which is Kanari. So it's kind of what he really is. The start of this game is just extremely slow. I think my main complaint with the start of this game is it's just so slow. The first 2 to 3 hours of this game, it does not let you explore or like do whatever you really want at all. There's so many times where you want to explore, like go off the path from what they're trying to make you do, and it'll stop you, say, oh, we're supposed to go this way, blah blah blah, and it'll literally stop you from like exploring the map or doing anything else than what you're supposed to be doing, which got really annoying at the start of the game for like the first 2 to 3 hours. That's my main drawback with the first start of the game. Really boring and really slow to get going. I did not care for it at all. Maybe if you're a newer player and you don't play Pokemon games that much, maybe you wouldn't mind it, but at least for me, like, I'm a hardcore Pokemon fan. I already know the gist of everything in the game, pretty much. I know how to catch a Pokemon. I know what to do for a lot of the shit in the game. Like, I don't really need a lot of that stuff, and like them forcing you to do a lot of the basics to this game and a few other things that just kind of force upon you. It's really stupid. It really is. Just slows the game down so much at the start. There's also a new turn, or like a new battle way for this game. We used to have the turn-based cooldown all the way up, or the turn-based system all the way up until Scarlet and Violet. With this game, we kind of went back to like the Legends Arceus type of way to play the game with cooldowns. So pretty much what this game is, instead of turn-based, it's a cooldown-based system where you actually just target your opposing Pokemon or like opposing trainers' Pokemon with moves, and instead of them having power points and turns, it's just a cooldown system to where you have to wait out the cooldown until you're able to use the move again. That's pretty much what it is. I don't really care for this new system. Like, it works for this game. I'm not gonna shit on the new battle system for this game because overall it does work, but if going forward for like Generation 10, or especially for Pokemon Champions, whenever that may be, we need turn-based back. Turn-based for Pokemon should be the norm. It should never dissuade from turn-based battle system at all, and it is the main thing that this game is known for and everybody's used to. It works for ZA, which is fine if they wanted to do it just specifically for this game and for like Legends Arceus and those type of games, for example. But going forward for Generation 10 and like Champions and like all that type of shit, the main games and like the main new generations for games, we need to have the turn-based back. It is also a huge clusterfuck. Like, cooldown base is also just an incredible clusterfuck. There's a few like rogue mega evolution battles towards the very end of the game where like there's like 6 people on screen. There's 3 rogue Mega Evolutions, and there's like 3 trainers, and it's just a big clusterfuck of people trying to attack each other, and you just don't know what the fuck's going on. You wouldn't have that at all with the turn-based system at all. There is downsides and like there is upsides to it, but I think overall turn-based is better than cooldown-based battle system. That's at least my honest opinion on it. I don't mind it, like I'm already used to it. It's fine for this game, but going forward they gotta go back to the turn-based system. It's also really weird jumping between games now because I also still play Pokemon Violet for a lot of stuff, and it's also really weird jumping between games, going back to turn-based system with that game and like going back to this game and with cooldown-based system. It's kind of really weird. So all you guys really need to know is like I'm not gonna really talk about like many of the main story shit overall. Like I kind of talked about what the general gist is, especially once you get to like mission 8 to 10 when you unlock like the Mega Evolution type stuff. You get a free Mega app, so I think the first Mega you actually go against I think it's Mega Victory Bell. I'm not 100% sure though. Or it's Mega Absol, but I think they actually give you like the Absol Mega Stone or some shit, and then you get a free Mega Absol because it just gets caught for you. So right off the bat, before you go into like fighting all the rogue Mega Evolutions, they give you a Mega Evolution that's already pretty much over leveled. I think it's like 5 to 6 levels above the current levels that you're facing for a lot of the opposing trainers and all the other types of battles you have versus the rogue Pokemon. So they give you a Mega and an Absol that's already over leveled with the Mega Stone, and you're kind of able to just kind of brute force your way from that point forward through a lot of the game with a lot of the Megas. That's kind of the other like main drawback to the Megas to this game. I understand the entire game is around Mega Evolution, and that's the main thing it's based around. But there's also a point to where like the Megas are just blatantly fucking busted, and especially if you can get them over leveled. Like there's sometimes you'll have a Mega on your team. I didn't even use the Absol that much, the free Absol that they give you. I used it for a little bit and then I threw it back into the box. But they also give you the starter Mega Stone for your starter. I picked Meganium, and once they give you that, like you throw that shit onto the Meganium and you just every time you have it you just Mega Evolve. Every time you have a problem you just Mega Evolve and you literally just sweep the enemy opponent's team. Especially even if you're on like on par or even just barely above the level, they're just so good to where like they're just so broken. You can just sweep the majority of like the major fights in this game with Megas or even like plus moves. They're just really, really good. It makes the game a lot easier than it should be, if I'm being 100% real. Do I think it's just like a brain dead thing that just makes the game terrible? Not really, because the game there still is a bunch of fights that are really, really difficult, especially if you're depending on what teams you're running, and like if you're just using like a bunch of your favorite Pokemon that don't really have any synergy type wise or that type of shit. You still do get wrecked by certain things, so you gotta still try to like play and like think about what you're doing. But the Mega thing is still really, really good. Only other like part of the game that I'm probably gonna talk about is there's a part of this game to where Tawny goes into debt. Pretty much what she does is she unknowingly takes out a loan for $100,000 to try to fix up AZ's motel and try to get guests to the motel for whatever reason. And she unknowingly takes out a loan with the mob. And what they end up doing is they charge like 1,000% interest. So she like owes, instead of $100,000, she owes like $1 million back to them within like the span of a week. And then if she can't pay it back, she has to like work for the mob or whatever. I forgot what the actual name of them are in the game because it's been a while since. It's like towards the middle of the game, around like mission 15, mission 20 or whatever, where I think it's Guyanarco or whatever the guy's name is. I'll probably throw some gameplay of like where it is in the game and like what the guy looks like on screen for you guys when I'm talking about it, but it's pretty much the mob. And what the really weird thing is I didn't really think about it much when I was playing through it, but looking back on it, the mob is supposed to be a bad thing. What do they try doing? Game Freak takes the mob, people that are trying to make you work for them for free, and then trying to charge you 1,000% interest off a $100,000 loan that you unknowingly took with them, which I guess she technically did, but you're forced to help her, like a good soldier, like in every Pokemon game. You gotta help out your friends, I guess, even though it's their problems. And you end up having to fight like the boss and like everything and like his henchmen, all that type of shit. But they end up being spun into the good guys. How the fuck is the mob now the good guys in 2025? I just don't understand that. They're taking they're at the point where they're trying to make the mob into good people. I never understood. I didn't really care for it, and I didn't really think about it much when I was playing through it, but like, looking back on it, like, why the fuck is the mob being painted as the good people? And why are they the good guys? I have no idea. It's like they took Team Rocket and they were like, yeah, Team Rocket's evil, but instead of this time, we're gonna try to take like a shitty, watered-down version that I guess they aren't even on the level of Team Rocket, if I'm being 100% real, but like a play out of Team Rocket, and then instead of making them the bad, evil guys, we're gonna try to spin them into the good guys. Even though they're the mob and they try to charge you $1,000 or 1,000% interest on a loan, and then try to make you work for free for them for as long as they wanted. They're somehow the good guys towards the middle and the end of the game, y'all. I have no idea how that's a thing and why that makes sense, but there it is. Game Freak thought it was good, so I just wanted to throw that in there because I didn't think about it much at the time, but I don't know. I just wanted to throw that in there. I think it's really, really stupid. It just defies logic. It's just so fucking stupid. Apart from that, what you're going to be doing is you're just going to be running around. There's also like these mega crystals that you can collect mega shards from. With these mega shards from breaking the crystals, you just have your Pokemon attack them and they break the crystals. With these mega shards that they do drop, you can actually use them to buy mega stones or EXP candies or power items for like EV training as well down the line. But it's pretty much just a way to try to buy mega stones. It gets really repetitive after a while. I'm going to be real with you guys. Just going around and like forcing yourself to try to break mega crystals just so you can get mega shards to buy the mega stones that you do want. It gets really repetitive really fast. It really does. It's a lot faster once you get the Canary plushies, which I'll talk about as well. And you can actually get like a level 3 on that, and you're getting like 5 to 10 per one, so it doesn't go as slow. But like at the start of the game, and like until you have like a level 3 of the Canary plushie, where you're getting a lot more shards with the plushie boost. Like it just takes forever, and it's just so repetitive. It gets really boring. It's more of a chore to do, and like something they just threw onto the map as like filler. Like, yeah, we'll just throw on this onto the map, so it's not boring. You're just not walking around monotonously the entire time. You at least have something to do, but in the end, it just gets really boring and just repetitive. It's more of a chore than it actually is fun trying to break mega crystals for shards. I just want my fucking mega stones. Just give me my stones. I don't want to sit and have to break mega crystals the entire time I'm walking around, but it is what it is. I'm not going to complain about it very much. Especially with the other, like, gameplay loop. Like, I'm going to kind of skip to the point where, like, you're pretty much, like, halfway through the game, and, like, there's a point in the game where the Game Freak was clearly like, oh yeah, the ZA Battle Royale, if we make you go from all the way from Z all the way up to A, that's 26, like, literally 26 ranks. They realized how repetitive it was. I think at, like, rank, was it, like, I don't know, like, there's a rank that's, like, 3 or so ranks from Z. I forgot it specifically what it is, but it skips you from, like, rank towards, like, the end of, like, almost towards the bottom of the alphabet, all the way up to, like, rank F. You just skip, like, half the fucking ranks, because they understood how repetitive it would really be. And then towards the end of the game, you're going from, like, rank F all the way up to, like, rank A. That's pretty much what, like, half the game really is. So the ZA Royale is a thing, but you don't actually have to play through all the ranks. You don't actually have to go from Z all the way to A. It just skips you halfway through, and it skips half the alphabet. Whatever, I'm not going to complain, but it just goes to show you they didn't think it through, and they realized how fucking repetitive it was going to get if they made you sit and battle trainers and every night go and try to get a challenger's ticket for the ZA Royale and try to battle people to get a promotion match. How fucking boring that would be after a while. Same with, like, the Rogue Mega Evolutions. They also get kind of boring after a while. Like, I think there's, like, 12 or, I think it's 12 or 16 of them total. I think that's how much there is until you kind of get done with them. But, like, each one is different. Like, they have, like, different attacks and that type of thing. They're pretty much, they kind of remind me of like Scarlet and Violet, like Terra raids, but instead of like a Terra raid with like 4 trainers and their Pokemon trying to defeat it, it's just you and then usually like one of the other like people from like the main story, like either Lita, Tawny, or Naveen for most of the time. And then towards the end of the game, it's actually solo. You'll be doing it by yourself a lot of the time. But up until that point, it's just usually like a 2v1 versus like a rogue raid, like boss pretty much. And the only real way to do damage to them is just trying to Mega Evolve your Pokemon or using like plus moves. And they all do like different things where you have to like dodge attacks and that type of thing. If you take too much damage, then your trainer dies for some stupid reason, which I think is really stupid. Why the fuck does, like, if I take damage, why do I die? Why do I fail if the raid is targeting me? Why does it involve my trainer? It is supposed to involve my Pokemon, not me. Why am I being targeted by the raids and by the raid boss? I never understood why that's a thing. I think that's really fucking stupid. That's my only complaint with like the Rogue Terra raids and the Terra raid bosses. I don't really care for that about them, but that's really stupid. Same with being attacked by like wild Pokemon in the overworld when you're not in a raid or like in the wild zones. If you take too much damage, you get hit like 2 or 3 times in too short of a time, you'll actually black out and go back to the Pokemon Center, which is really stupid. It's just so dumb. It just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Like, they're supposed to target your Pokemon, not you. It is not supposed to be Pokemon versus human. It's supposed to be Pokemon versus Pokemon. It just doesn't make any sense most of the time. Apart from that, there's a few other characters that I will talk about. Like, I'm not going to go into in-depth with, like, the entire story at all. Like, there's a bunch of spoilers and like all that type of stuff. If you guys are really that dedicated to the story, quote unquote, if you really want to call it a story, like I'm gonna be real with you guys. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, I did enjoy playing through the game. I had fun playing through the game apart from like the first 2 or 3 hours when it was absolutely just boring, like nauseating bullshit, and it wouldn't let you explore or do anything. Apart from that, I actually did enjoy playing through the game. You could maybe call it a story, whatever it is. Some people are going to say it's not even a story, it's just filler garbage or whatever excuse they have, which is fine, but at least for me personally, I would be lying to you guys if I said I didn't enjoy a lot of the like main missions for this game and like playing through the majority of like the main campaign for the game. For what it was, the majority of it I did enjoy. There's some parts more than others that I didn't really care for, but most of it I did enjoy and I did have fun with, which is the main thing. I'm not going to complain or shit on any of that type of stuff. There's a few characters I do want to talk about though. Some of my more favorite ones. We have LeBane, which is also like, she's kind of like a badass maid. I don't know why she's not in the game more. She's one of my other, like, one of the favorite characters from this game. She's super cool, but like, I wish she had more of a role in the game. She's kind of like a background like lackey for, I think it's Janetha, or I think is her name or whatever. It's pretty much, she's kind of a lackey for like the main, like a stuck-up rich person, whoever, like, who the fuck cares. But I wish she was the main one in that part of the game. I'll probably show her on screen. You guys probably know her, but she uses, I think, the Mega Dragology, which is really cool. She has a really cool team as well. I wish she was more of a role in the game because she's such a coolly designed character and she's really fucking cool, but she's kind of more of like a lackey slash like background player most of the time, and you battle like once or twice, and apart from that, she's kind of just a fetch quest like NPC that is like a messenger most of the time for you. It's kind of what she ends up being, just really sad. The other 2 characters that I'm sure a lot of other people also really liked, I've talked about them a lot if you guys watch my streams. I also streamed this game. I streamed ZA for like a total of close to like 9 hours over the past week. It's probably the most I've streamed in quite a while. But like the other 2 characters I really do like is Emma. I'll talk about Emma first because I'll probably be talking a lot about the other one, but Emma's pretty much what she is. She's the leader of the Looker Bureau. She's kind of like the detective of the game. If you guys played the past games, Looker was like the main detective. I think it was Looker and there was a few other... I forgot what the other detective name was, but it was pretty much Looker and the Looker Bureau, which is kind of like the detectives for the game. They go around and they kind of help you solve problems and like do detective work and kind of play that kind of role in the game. Which we do get a few of the times. She doesn't have like a major role in the game. She's kind of more of like another supporting character, which is unfortunate, but The reason why I like her so much, as you guys probably tell, I'll throw it on screen for you guys right now, as well as like a lot of the other people like her. I gotta be really careful so I don't get my video demonetized or flagged or taken down, but I don't know what Game Freak was smoking when they designed Emma, but they knocked it out of the park. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 for how Emma looks. 100%. I love Emma in this game. That's one of the main reasons why I like her. I'm sure a lot of other people like her, but apart from that, like, you don't really battle her that much too. You battle her at like the very start of the game with like Ampharos, I think, and then she battles you towards the end of the game with Mega Malamar. Apart from that, she doesn't really battle you. She battles you like 2 times. She's more of like a supporting character, but I wish we had more of her as well. It is what it is. And like one of my other favorite characters as well is Kanari, which we talked about earlier. Kanari with Naveen. Pretty much who Kanari is there's like an entire mission or like 2 missions with her involved as well. She's kind of like a virtual like VTuber kind of streamer type lady, kind of like this game's version of Iono from Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, but I think she's a million times better than Iono is. She also looks really cool. She looks so fucking cool. Really, really cool character in the game. Pretty much like an electric type trainer. You go against her for one of your promo matches and you have to try to hunt her down because nobody knows where she is. And then Naveen, being an obsessed simp, knows literally everything about her. So she hosts like a questionnaire competition or some shit, and if you win that competition, you can get like 1 wish or something that she'll grant and allow with her or whatever, and then you end up asking for like a promotion match versus her. Really, really cool. I think you battle her like 3 or 4 times, and she actually is pretty relevant, especially towards the end of the game. One of the more main characters. I'm glad she was in the game and had actually a pretty solid role in the game, because I think she's such a cool character. One of my favorite characters from recent memory out of a lot of the newer Pokemon games is Kanari. I also really like her team. She has Heliolisk and Mega Electros and Stunfisk and a few other things some of the times you battle her. I think she also has Ampharos a few of the times. Really cool team. I don't know, let me know in the comments down below, are you guys Team Iono or are you guys Team Kanari? I'm gonna be real with you guys, I'm Team Kanari. I think Kanari had way more of a role in the game as well, apart from Iono, which you can probably compare her to, but Iono was kind of just a trial leader, or like a gym leader in Scarlet and Violet. That's all she really was. She didn't really do much else. I don't know. Really cool though. By far one of the best characters in the entire game. One of the only highlights, and her and Emma are like the 2 main characters. If you do want to buy the game, I think they're probably one of the 2 reasons why you'd maybe buy the game. I just like them so much. I don't know if they're worth $70. Maybe some people would like that type of stuff for $70. I don't know. If you justify Emma and Kanari for $70 worth, probably not. I don't really either, but apart from that, there's also a bunch of other like really cool characters in this game. There's some former Team Flare grunts that are also in the game that you battle towards the end, that you fight to go up to like A rank and kind of finish off the ZA Royale towards like the end of the main story campaign and all that type of stuff. There's a few other characters and that type of thing. Lysandre is also back. Granted, he has like pretty much his role in the game is he has like no memory and like he doesn't really know who he actually is, but it's Lysandre from X and Y. And like in the post game, you also battle versus him. But pretty much up until the point and throughout the entire like main missions of the game and main story, he kind of just pops up and kind of gives you dialogue and kind of backstory and kind of that type of thing. He does have a pretty good role in the game, but I just wish in the post game, which we'll talk about momentarily, I wish we would have like some other more involvement from Lysandre, and he kind of just leaves randomly for whatever reason. I don't know. But like pretty much to wrap it up, like towards the end of the game, the Lumiose Tower goes rogue with Eternal Floette, and it needs to be controlled by Eternal Floette, so lucky you get to go deal with the Lumiose Tower. All the rogue Mega Evolutions start piling up, and they start attacking people and all that type of shit. And then Zygarde's forced to come into the rescue. You gotta try to help and try to weaken the tower, I guess, or something. It's a part of, like, Eternal Floette and like some other shit, because there's like a boss battle where you like have to like fight a flower and like fight plants that are a part of the Lumiose Tower that are like sentient or some shit. It's really weird. Not really shitting on it because I didn't mind it, but It's kind of weird, and they also don't take that much damage. They're really difficult to kill for some reason, but you gotta kind of fight like the Lumio's Tower boss or whatever. It's kind of like an alternate version of like Eternal Floette or like an alter ego. I don't know what it exactly is. I didn't really pay. If I'm being real with you guys, I didn't really care. I was just fighting. I was just looking at the game. And I was just doing what it wanted me to do. But then you pretty much win versus that, and you have to have the help of Zygarde. Zygarde kind of puts it down and it comes back, and then you kind of have to fight the Eternal Floette and make sure the Zygarde is able to put it away for good. And then it kind of just parts away, and then at the end, all the Rogue Mega Evolution energy goes away, and everything's able to live happily ever after. There you go. Pretty much kind of what it really is. There's a lot more to that. Like, there's a bunch of other, like, Rogue Mega Evolution boss battles with a bunch of the main characters and, like, the main people that you meet throughout the game through the Legends ZA Royale and all that type of stuff. Like, a lot of the other stuff. Like, you'll partner up with, like, Emma or, like, Panari or Labane, and there's a few other ones that you'll partner up with and have to, like, defeat Rogue Mega Evolutions, like, mini boss battles. That type of thing. There's a bunch of other stuff, so I did enjoy, like, I'm gonna be 100% real with you guys, apart from, like, the first 2 to 3 hours of the game, I did enjoy, like, the main missions and, like, the main story, quote-unquote, to the game. I didn't mind it. Like, my expectations are also really low, though, because I just like playing through new Pokemon games. That's kind of my take on it. That's the main thing. I like using new Pokemon, and I like playing through the games with unique Pokemon and my favorite Pokemon. That's what it really boils down to. I can sit here and probably talk about, like, the story and all the shit for the story for, like, hours upon end, but that's kind of what you guys really need to know. Not really too much there. Now we got the post game, though, and then we got the upsides and the downsides of this game, which is going to be what a lot of people kind of want to know about. The post game for this game literally does not exist. There is barely anything. There is barely anything when it comes to content for this game when it comes to post game, which I think is really unfortunate, because it makes me think that the DLC that they want to release at the start of, or I think it's like February of 2026, it makes me think that was originally a part of the game, and it was either the part of the main missions or was supposed to be in the post game, and they purposely cut it out to try to charge us money for it, which is fucking evil, because it feels like the game, especially after, like, the main missions and the slaying of, like, the Lumio's Tower and Eternal Floette and all that type of shit, it feels like once it's done, it just shuts off, and, like, the entire game just, it's really weird how the game, like, just dies pretty much. There's just literally not much to do. It feels like there was going to be a continuation of a lot of the stuff, and they kind of cut it out and put it into the fucking DLC, which I do not agree with at all, so. The main thing is AZ. If this is a huge story spoiler, so if you guys do not want to be spoiled by this, but the main thing that you do find out upon completing the main missions and the main story of the game and loading back in after the credits is that AZ dies. Yep, you guys heard me. AZ dies. Who cares? If I'm being real with you guys, I didn't really care. Like, I liked AZ, but he died. Whatever. And it's known to us that he was alive for over, like, 3,000 years. So, like, keeping that in mind, like, he had a way better life than anybody will probably end up having. So, or way longer life at the very end of that. So, you also get a free Lucario, which is actually a reference to X and Y from the I think it's the fighting type gym leader, Kiona. I think it's Kiona or Kione, or I forgot what the actual name is. It's been a while since I played through X and Y, but you get a free Lucario that was left to you by AZ that you can use to Mega Evolve once you get the Lucario Mega Stone. I just took mine and I threw it into the PC because I didn't want to use it because I might turn it into a competitive Pokemon. That's what mine ended up being, but I know a lot of people that did use it towards the post game and ended up starting using the Lucario on their team, which is fine. All the other things, like, there's one or two other things with the post game that are, like, relevant, that are, I guess you can consider, like, big things for post game content, if you really even want to consider them that. I think it's just by default stuff that you should be able to have at the post game. You gotta fight versus Zygarde, which I think, and I don't even know if you want to consider this like post game stuff. You could argue this should have been in like the main story type thing. Right after you defeated the tower of Lumios, you should have had a fight with Zygarde, or at like some point leading up to that point, you should have fought Zygarde. Why Zygarde and having to fight him in the post game makes sense, I don't know. But you get a fight with Zygarde, you have to fight him in 10% form, and then it transfers over to 50% Zygarde, and then you actually go to 100% Zygarde, and you have to actually defeat 100% Zygarde, which is actually kind of a pain in the ass, if I'm being real with you guys. I had a good matchup into him because I had a bunch of stuff that on my team that was actually really good into him, and at that point in the game, the Mega Zygarde and Zygarde in the post game is level 84, and all my Pokemon were close to level 100 at this point because I kind of put off going against the Zygarde for quite a while, so I kind of leveled up a lot more than I probably should have. You also battle Lysandre before the Zygarde fight for probably the only and last time before he pieces out. For some reason, I don't know why Lysandre doesn't have Zygarde. Why doesn't Lysandre have Mega Zygarde? And like, in order for you to be able to fight Zygarde, why don't you have to go through Lysandre? And why don't you have to beat Lysandre with him having Mega Zygarde to be able to have the right to actually catch Zygarde and fight the Zygarde for yourself? It just doesn't make any sense. I think he has Mega Gyarados and a bunch of other random shit on his team. Sableye and a few other like random things. It just kind of feels like a fight that's just thrown into the post game just because they want to have you fight Lysandre because he's not going to be in the game anymore after this. That's why. I still don't know why he does. He was the person that told you everything about Zygarde, the entirety of the story, the main story, up until that point. You think he would have Zygarde on his team and force you to battle him with him having Mega Zygarde, or at the very least 100% Zygarde with no Mega Evolution. It just doesn't make any sense. He said he has Mega Gyarados, which is fine. That's the Mega he always used to have, but still. I just don't understand. I really don't. It feels like a really rushed, missed opportunity of giving Lysandre like a memorable like last fight. And what it ended up his last battle being was just you just absolutely fucking mopping the floor. And then him having a Mega Gyarados and then losing still. So, at least that's what it turned out for me. Like, it was fun, but I just absolutely fucking destroyed the guy. Whatever. I wish he would have had Zygarde, and I was scratching my head battling him, like wondering why, what the fuck, why don't you have Zygarde? And then it turns out you gotta go battle Zygarde, and you have a chance to catch Zygarde, and you catch the Zygarde anyways. And then in the end, you get the Mega Stone for Zygarde, which he probably should have had and he should have used. They want Mega Zygarde to be a thing, and they want you to use Mega Zygarde, but they don't showcase it at all in the entirety of the post game or even like in the main story at all. Why the fuck even give my Zygarde a Mega then? I just don't understand. If you aren't going to let Lysandre have it or even use it in battle versus you, or even fight against it, like, why the fuck does it matter? I don't know, I just feel like that's just really boring and really weird. Real huge missed opportunity, like it's just fucking half-assed garbage, if I'm being real with you guys. And then what Lysandre does is he's a major part throughout the entire story up until that point in the post-game. And he just says, yeah, I'm going to go on a soul-searching mission. I'm going to find out who I truly am. And he just pieces out, never to be seen again. That is how Lysandre leaves. He just pieces out and says he's going to go on a soul-searching mission for himself. He says he'll never see you again. And he just walks away and disappears. Couldn't have wrote it better than myself. I probably could have, actually, because that's fucking lame. Fucking lame. Whatever, who cares? I love Lysandre, like, I think he's really cool, and I enjoyed him through the entire story and up until that point, but him just piecing out and walking away just to never be seen again. Fucking lazy. Just screams lazy. The only other major thing in the post-game that there is to do is the ZA Royale. It turns into an infinite ZA Royale, so now pretty much every single night you can go into the ZA Royale, battle as much as you want, and as long as you get a Challenger's ticket, you get a promotional match versus somebody that they put you against. So it's like pretty much they put you against whatever. I don't know if it's actually like, if it's like planned or if it's just random trainers it puts you against. It kind of seems like it is, because at least when I'm recording this, I think I've done the ZA Royal like 10, 11, 12 times already, and like it seems like the majority of the matches that it gives you, it seems to be random. I don't know if it's planned or not, but at least as of right now, when I'm recording this, I haven't got to 15 wins yet, but when you get to 15 wins in the Infinite ZA Royale, you're supposed to have a battle against either Tawny or some other trainer that has Mega Floette, Mega Eternal Floette, and you're supposed to be able to get Mega Eternal Floette, and they give it to you. I haven't got to that point yet, but you need to win 15 times in the Infinite ZA Royale and get rewarded 15 times for that to even happen, so I feel like they kind of just could have did that within 5 times and it would have been good, but they extended to having to get 15 wins because there literally is no other post-game content. There is literally nothing. The post-game is so bare that there is literally nothing but mindless fucking battles at the end of the game. That is the main thing to do, y'all. After you beat ZA, it's either you go online and try to raise a competitive team, which is what I'm currently trying to do and I'm in the process of doing, or you just sit and mindlessly battle every single fucking night to try to get rewards from the Infinite ZA Battle Royale. Whatever. Rewards, by the way, that are also on a 100% random drop table. So there are rewards, you need at least 20 wins to get the majority of the rewards as well. You only get access to half of the rewards if you get less than 20 wins per night. So you need at least 20 wins to have access to bottle caps and all the Pokeballs. All the rare Apri balls, if you want a chance of them getting rewarded to you at the end of the night for turning in your Challenger's ticket and battling and winning the battle for the promo match. After getting the win, you have to at least have 20 wins. And it's just a fucking random chance of a lot of the good stuff to have a drop, and it's not even guaranteed. A lot of the stuff that you really want, which I'll be talking about later on, and momentarily, that you really want is on a fucking random drop table that you have to grind for mindlessly, just in hopes of having maybe like a 5 or a 10% chance of getting it when it's a crucial item. Bottle caps, which I'll be talking about. There's a few other things too that are all like a lot of the Apra balls. People love the Apra balls just to catch certain Pokemon in them. Those being on like a 2 or 3% drop chance per one. That's still extremely low as well, especially how much you have to grind the ZA Infinite Royale at the end of the game, post game. I feel like they kind of just turned the end of the post game into a grinding simulator because they literally have nothing else. The DLC was probably supposed to be the post game, and they took it out of the fucking game because they figured they can charge people $30 for it. I guarantee you that is what they did. Because there is literally nothing with the post game. It only makes sense that we were supposed to be getting the Mega Dimensions DLC as the post game, and they fucking took it out to try to charge more money for it. So they make a quick buck. I guarantee you that's what they did. It feels like the post game was meant to have the Mega DLC, Mega Dimensions DLC, and they purposely took it out. What else is there to do in the post game, you might be asking? Mabel's research quests. Pretty much, if you guys know what this is, the Mabel's research quest, it's introduced to you really early on, but pretty much what you got to do is like every time you get a rank up, there's 50 tiers, and every single tier you complete like quests, whether it's like catching certain Pokemon of a type, evolving Pokemon, battling people, that type of thing. If you complete the quest, you get points, and every single tier you get like a reward. There's 50 tiers, and like I think the last two, 49 and 50, are a Master Ball and a Shiny Charm. But in order to do that, you have to complete like literally every single quest. But is that really post-game content, like having to fucking grind the research quests? With a lot of the TMs also being good competitive TMs, which shouldn't be locked behind a fucking thing where you have to sit and grind the game non-stop to try to get a TM, just to be able to use it on one of your competitive Pokemon to go online and play competitive Pokemon with it. Like, why are some of these TMs, like, there's a bunch of TMs in Mabel's research that are locked behind the fucking shit to have to complete quests for. Like, why are they locked behind that? I have no idea. So if the Pokemon that wants that move doesn't get it by a level up move or level up learn set, you won't have access to it unless you do the Mabel research quest, so it forces you to do them. Really stupid. It's really fucking stupid. I don't know. I don't even think you can consider Mabel's research quests post-game content because it's just fucking mindless grinding for shit that you should be getting just for playing the game. What, complete the Pokédex? Like, what else is there to do in the the post game. Completing the Pokédex, shiny hunting in this game is fucking boring. You literally just sitting in the same area. There's places in the game where you just walk in and out of a building or like walking in and out of a place, and the screen goes black and it just loads Pokemon over and over, and you can just hold down on the controller, like tie it with a rubber band, so that way you can go watch something else on YouTube or do something, make food, whatever you want to do, and you can just have the game on in the background, farming shinies, and that way when you come back 20 later, you have like 10 shinies, because they go away and they reload, and the shiny Pokemon do pop up. They don't go away; it just keeps cycling everything over and over every time you walk in and out of a building or whatever it may be, and every time you get a shiny, it just stays there. So you can go walk away and just do a AFK shiny hunting thing, which is the main common way to hunt shinies in this game, and you just get shinies for literally doing nothing. Is that really fun to do in the post game? Is that really considered post game content? Not really. Like there's also like there's like a Canary Boost plushie thing, which I probably show on screen for you guys right now. I probably should have talked about it earlier, but there's these plushies that you get that you can go around and you collect screws. There's a colorful screw, which is like an overworld type of item. You can climb on, like, I don't know, there's like parkour type stuff you can do with like the Rotom Glide and a few other things to try to get colorful screws, and then when you get enough of them, you can turn them in and trade them for a plushie. These plushies give you like different types of boosts, like extra EXP, extra prize money, taking less damage from like wild Pokemon or rogue Pokemon, that type of thing, or like getting more Mega Crystals from Mega Shards from Mega Crystals and breaking those into Overworld and that type of thing. And then once you collect all the Canary Boost plushies, you get a big plushie that goes into your hotel room, y'all. Is that post-game content? Sitting and looking for colorful screws, walking around in the overworld all over Lumios to try to get a fucking plushie? I don't know. What else is there? Photo mode? There's a photo mode with this game, y'all. What are you gonna sit and do in the post-game? Sit and take pictures of all your favorite Pokemon? Is that really considered post-game content? Like, I think that's one of the main downsides to this game. Is it is, apart from Zygarde and like Lysandre stuff, and then the ZA Royale, the monotonous, non-stop fucking battling every single time it's nighttime, and trying to grind rewards from that. There literally is no post-game content for this game. That is the main problem with this game, and one of the reasons I fucking hate it. There is literally nothing to do. I would not be playing Legends ZA up until this point if I was not training Pokemon up to try to go online and try to play competitive and rank up online. There's just no reason to play the game for me at all. I don't give a fuck about the Pokédex. I don't give a fuck about shiny hunting. I don't give a fuck about any of this other shit, the Mabel's research quests. I don't care. At the end of the day, a lot of this shit, it does not matter because you're not going to be able to transfer it over anyways to any new game. And if you can, whether it's shiny hunting or like any of the cosmetics, you can probably get it in the new game anyways, way easier. So, like, there's just literally no point. Like, what do you get for completing the Pokédex? Probably nothing. I don't know if you get anything, but probably nothing. Like, I don't know. Now we're gonna get into some of the downsides of the game. We're like, what, like over an hour into this video already, y'all. I am barely into the end of this at all, and we're getting into the downsides here, y'all. This is the shit that I absolutely fucking hate with this game, and just makes you scratch your head and like, yeah, why are they charging $70 for this fucking game? Why is there no bike, or why is there no rollerblades? You're meaning to tell me with Legends ZA, we are in 2025, and X and Y had a bike and roller skates that you could use to get around as mobility and transportation, but we're in 2025, and there's no fucking bike or no rollerblades. We have to sit and run around this entire map, which I know why they did it. It's because if they had a bike or if they had like rollerblades and you were able to move even faster around the map, it would just go to show you how boring and how repetitive the map is, and it's not really that big of a map to begin with, which they could have easily made. They could have changed or like did stuff to rectify that, but they never did. There's no fucking bike and there's no rollerblades in this game. You have to run around the entire fucking map or try to teleport yourself with fast travel. That is the ways to get around the map, y'all. There is no bike or any other way to transport yourself around the map. They didn't even do a taxi. Like, you think in 2025 we'd be able to get into a car or, like, get into it. There's taxis all around the map. Why can't we get into the back of a taxi and pay a taxi driver to like bring us around the map or like drop us off at a specific location. That would be really cool. Why is that out in the game? I guess it's not worth $70. We gotta pay more for that, y'all. Here's some of the other shit. Like, the main things for me is a lot of your casual players, if you're more of a casual player, you won't really care about this. But at least for me, the main reasons I play a lot of Pokemon games, especially Scarlet and Violet up until this point, and especially ZA, is the online stuff. I want online features that I expect with a lot of games, especially for 2025. Online in this fucking game, especially having to pay $20 a month. Granted, this is not the only game I'm playing that's a Nintendo game that requires online, or even like other games. I play Overwatch 2, which I think requires online subscription, a few other things like Mario Kart World once in a great while, and a few other games. But if I was only paying $20 for online for this game, I wouldn't fucking pay it. I think it's a rip-off, especially with what they give you. Online for ZA is absolutely fucking terrible. There is only a ranked ladder, y'all. It is a 4v4 ranked ladder that is based off of how many times you kill Pokemon. It's pretty much like it's a battle royale to where the highest kill count wins the game. Whoever has the most kills in the match after 3 minutes wins. That's pretty much what it is. It's a 4v4 TDM type style match. If you want to play 1v1s or 6v6, you got to play private matches. What do private matches need? They need a link code. There is no casual ladder with this game. There is no casual or even like ranked 6v6 ladder in this game. There is nothing. There is literally nothing. I think it would also be really cool just having like a 6v6 versus like 6v6 type of match where each trainer just throws all 6 Pokemon onto the field at once, and you just have to try to monitor them and like try to attack everything, and it's just a big clusterfuck. At least that would be fun. Give us a 6v6 versus 6v6 where we just throw everything onto the field at once. I don't know, or some type of shit like based off of that. I just don't understand. I really don't understand. Give us like a full-on like battle to the death, like a free-for-all where all 6 Pokemon are on the field at once, and there's like all 12 of them is just a battle to the death. Last one standing wins. Why didn't we get that either? That would have been a really cool like game mode or like take on the game to use, especially with the cooldown based move battle style. I don't know. That's something you can't really do with turn based. I guess you can in free for all with like 4v4 and that type of thing, but you ain't gonna have like 6 or 12 Pokemon in the field at once. I can tell you that right now. Trades are also terrible in this game. I don't know who was the one that thought that trades, there was no random option for trades. If you guys want to trade online with this game, either you're trading in local, like a local vicinity with like somebody that's IRL with you with like another Nintendo Switch or Switch 2, like a local trade. If you want to go online and trade with other people online, you need a link code. Why is there no random option for trades? We are in 2025 and they're limiting random trades online that require online with a fucking link code. There is no random trades like even in Scarlet and Violet. Scarlet and Violet, I can click link trade and I don't need a rental code or I don't need like a link code. I can just go on link trade and just click search, and it'll put me with somebody that's just searching as well at the same time for a random trade. Why the fuck do I need a rental or like a link code? I keep saying rental code, but that's another thing I'm gonna be talking about next. Like, why the fuck do I need a link code to trade? Why is there no random trade option in this fucking game? Why is the link code option should be optional like in Scarlet and Violet? So now the thing you have is people just can't trade anything, and there's no wonder trade either. There's no wonder trade or surprise trade in this game. This would be a great game to have wonder trade or surprise trade. A perfect game for it. But there's no wonder trade / surprise trade in this game either. Why? I don't understand. And I just have people going online like there's, unless you know somebody in like Discord or like you have somebody like communicate online with to create like a specific link code to trade with somebody, you can't trade with anybody. I feel bad for the people that only have online and they don't have Discord or like X or like any way to communicate online, and they expect you to get the game and just be able to trade with random people, because that's not going to happen. Same with like the UI for trades. Like, why is the UI so simple? We are in 2025. Why do we not have like a text chat or like even like a voice chat in trades? Why can't I just use the voice chat on my Switch 2 and use that and talk through the mic on the Switch 2 with somebody on the other end, just tell them what I want or what I'm looking for, or even like a very basic text chat. It's actually a downgrade from what we have in Scarlet and Violet, and that one isn't even the greatest either for trades. How is it somehow worse? I just don't understand. It's so basic. It's even worse than Scarlet and Violet's trading system, and like the UI for that. It's just terrible. Online for this game is just fucking terrible. If they did not have the ZA Royale and they didn't have like the having to get the Mega Stone for playing the ZA Royale online, I guarantee you barely anybody would be playing it. They're lucky they're able to dangle those fucking Mega Stones over the player's head and have people play online, because otherwise it's fucking terrible. It is so bad. The online with this game is terrible. If I haven't said it enough already. Why is there also another, like I throw this with the online as well, is like, why can't I share my teams? Granted, the only teams you're gonna be having, unless you're playing private matches, the only teams you can have are teams of 3. You can only have 3 Pokemon on a team if you're playing the ZA Royale online, trying to rank up with that. But like, why can't I share my teams, and why can't I use other people's teams with a rental code? There is no option to share your team or even be able to use other people's teams with a rental code like in Scarlet and Violet. Why? Why? Nobody's taking Legends ZA ranked seriously at all. It's just more of a casual competitive mode anyways. And they don't care either, because there's no casual mode either for the game. There's only a ranked option. What it is, it even ranks you up kind of like more of like a casual competitive mode. Because even if you go like in like your very low tiers, up until like tier K, letter K, even if you're like in 4th, as long as you kill people and you got a few kills, it'll give you a bunch of points and you'll eventually rank up. It's kind of more of a casual competitive mode until like you get to the rank K, is when you get your Mega Stone, and then it starts actually getting a little bit more harsh, and you have to actually start doing good and start ranking up. I don't know why there's no rental codes. Why can't we share our teams with people, or like be able to use other people's teams like in Scarlet and Violet? I just don't understand. And you can't even use the excuse, well, it's more difficult for them to do that because it's not even a full team of 6, it's only a team of 3 Pokemon. You cannot give us a rental code for 3 Pokemon? Come on now. Fucking stupid. It's just so dumb. Carrying on with the downsides of this game, I'm not even done yet, y'all. We're so far into this video. It's going to be one of the longest videos I've done for quite a while. Competitive Pokemon in this game feels like a fucking afterthought. I don't know what... I literally feel like they just... When they had this game done, and then they removed the DLC, and they're like, oh, shit, we need competitive. What are we going to do for the competitive diehard players, y'all? What are we going to do? What do we do? Yeah, we're just going to throw Wild Zones, have them throw the power items into the game, and that way people can go farm like 3 or 4 Wild Zones and just like teleport between them to try to farm EVs, which is really weird because a lot of the spawns are only like 2 or 3 things spawn that you need EVs for a lot of the time. Throw that into the game, throw power items into the game as a reward for farming Terra crystals off the Terra shards off the Terra crystals. Throw that into the game. Throw the vitamins into the game and all that type of shit to use for EVs. We'll put it in the game, but instead of 10,000, we'll put it at 5,000. That way it's a lot easier for them to farm. That way if they really want to farm EVs, they have the chance of using power items, or they can just farm money, which you're going to be getting anyways, from just monotonously battling through the Infinite ZA Royale. You're going to get tons and tons of money. They can just buy vitamins, which is what I've been doing. I think if you want to raise competitive Pokemon in this game, some of you guys that are more casual players might not know what I'm talking about, but if you want to raise competitive Pokemon in this game, the easiest way to actually do that is buying vitamins. Protein, whatever it may be, zinc, carbos, like all the vitamins that raise your specific stats for your EVs, because you're going to be getting so much money anyways. Money is never an issue in the post game because you're always battling in the ZA Royale, so you always have money. It's way easier than going in and even buying the power items and just trying to farm EVs from the Wild Zones too. The main problem with this game though is they have bottle caps, which you really need. If you want a Pokemon to be 100% fully optimized for competitive, you need to have the IVs maxed out to 31, which is optimal. Suboptimal Pokemon have worse chances and worse matchups than anything that has optimal bottle caps like IVs. There is no daycare or way to breed Pokemon in this game. So you think, maybe they'll make bottle caps. The only way to be able to cap your IVs and make them fully optimal, they'll have them be really easy to get. Nah, they ain't, y'all. Nah, they ain't. The main reason why I'm even still fucking playing ZA at this point is I'm trying to make a competitive team, apart from not being able to find shiny variants of the Pokemon I want to use online, which is another entirely different issue. That's not even, doesn't have really anything to do with the game. I haven't been able to find like a shiny Froakie or somebody to try to trade me one, and a few other things that I want to use for a competitive team online to rank up. But apart from that, the only other main reason why is it's so fucking difficult to get bottle caps. Bottle caps, if you guys don't know what they do is you can go take them to the, I think it's the Fighting Dojo in this game, or the Fist of Justice, whatever they call it in this game, and she'll max out the IV for one bottle cap for each stat. So for a Pokemon, you need 5 to 6 bottle caps per Pokemon. You want to know how you get bottle caps in this game, y'all? You get 10 bottle caps from Mabel's research quest. I think it's like a tier 35, I think. And then you get bottle caps from the Infinite ZA Royale. But guess how much of a drop rate they are, y'all? They're a 5% drop rate. I think it's like a 5%. I think it's either 5 or 6%. And then there's a chance of a gold bottle cap, which I think is like 3%. So you have a 10% chance of getting 3 bottle caps. 3. Which doesn't even fully train out a Pokemon, by the way. 3 bottle caps, it only trains up a Pokemon and maxes out 3 of the IVs. That's not even a fully optimized Pokemon. So you can't even fully optimize one Pokemon with a drop of the bottle caps that you get from the Infinite ZA Royale. Why? Why is it so fucking difficult to get bottle caps in this goddamn fucking game? You want to know why? Because they needed a reason to keep you playing, that's why. I'm telling you guys right now, once I get one competitive team fully raised, I'm going to have one competitive team that just go on the ladder every single time, just use all the time. I am not going to be making multiple teams, and I'm not going to be doing anything else, because it is such a fucking pain in the ass to try to farm bottle caps in this goddamn fucking game. I've wasted so much time on it already, to where it's just a random chance, and then once you do get the bottle caps that you do have, you get 10 of them from Mabel's research, and I think there's like a side quest that you get, which we'll talk about as well, the side quest. Or if you want to even call them side quests, I think they're just fucking filler garbage that this meant to waste your time to try to get bottle caps, and you just go through them so fast because you can only train up like 2 or 3 Pokemon with the ones that they do give you. And that's if you even want to use the bottle caps on a lot of stuff. I'm really wary to use the bottle caps on what I have, because once I use them, it's going to take forever to get more of them. And the drop chances are so low. You also need 20 wins to even get a chance at the bottle caps, y'all. To unlock the second portion of the prizes for the ZA Royale, you need 20 wins to have a chance to get a drop of the bottle caps. Whether it's a gold bottle cap or a regular one, of a drop of 3 of them from the rewards. It's so bad. I can sit here and rant on how fucking awful it is. It also comes down to, like, there's no Pokemon Home with this game, which is another problem. There is no Pokemon Home with this game. This would not be much of a problem, and it would only be a problem for like the Pokemon that are only exclusive to ZA. Stuff like Pangoro, Tyrantrum, that type of stuff, etc., that are in ZA and not in Pokemon Violet or Scarlet. So what you could do, if Pokemon Bank was available for this game, which I was planning to do, but I realized it wasn't available very early on, actually, is that you can actually go into Scarlet and Violet if you're like me, like I'm a way veteran player, like I have literally way tons of resources and everything, like bottle caps and money and all that type of shit is no problem for me in Scarlet and Violet because I have so many hours in that game. What you could do is with the Pokemon that are in both games, you could raise them up in Scarlet and Violet, bottle cap them, EV train them, whatever you need to do, give them a moveset, and just make sure the movesets and both of the movesets are in both games, otherwise it'll change the movesets on you when you transfer them. But train up all the Pokemon and then transfer them over with Pokemon Bank into ZA, and you wouldn't have to worry about having to farm bottle caps. But since Pokemon Home isn't going to be supported for Pokemon ZA until February of 2026, probably when the DLC drops, I'm guessing, there is no way to do that. So you're forced to sit and try to farm random RNG for bottle caps. in this fucking game. Mindless. It just makes no fucking sense. It is just so fucking terrible. Competitive in this game is just terrible. I honestly think they shouldn't even have bottle caps. Just get rid of the IVs. I don't even know why IVs are a thing. If they don't want to have bottle caps be an actual like easy resource to get, or just at the very least buy with your money, in-game money, just get rid of them. I just don't know why IVs are a thing. I really don't. I'm been playing the game for over a week now, and the majority of the hours I have after I've finished the game are just me trying to fucking farm bottle caps. There you go. That's what I've been doing in my post game, trying to farm bottle caps and eventually trying to get a competitive team to go online and rank up on the online ZA ladder. That's what I've been trying to do for the past week and a half. Only other last thing I'm going to talk about with this game is there's other shit. I guess if you want to consider post game, there's side quests. Side quests are technically post game, but they're introduced to you very early on in like the main story. They're completely optional, but at the same time, I feel like they're just fucking terrible. I don't know whose idea was it to even put side quests into this game, because they're such a waste of time. They are such a fucking waste of time, and the rewards you get from them are just terrible. Like, you meaning to tell me one of these side quests, which I think I actually have footage for, is to go catch an alpha Magikarp and then go bring it to somebody so they can go give me a fucking pearl and some shitty EXP candies. So you mean to tell me I went and wasted my time to catch an alpha Magikarp, something that I'll never use, that'll just get thrown into PC afterwards, for a fucking pearl and some EXP candies? Like, the quests are just such a waste of time. I think there's another one too that there's one that actually, if in order to get the light ball, you gotta raise a Pikachu, and like I had to raise a Pikachu up to like level 70 and teach a dig to try to get the light ball, which I ended up doing. Like, there's a Pikachu one-on-one mirror match for one of the side quests. There's also another one where you have to actually battle somebody with Arbok and then a Glalie, which I didn't do because I just don't want to waste my time on it because the reward's probably terrible. But like, a lot of the time it takes to do a lot of these side quests just isn't worth the reward, or the side quests are just super easy and just a waste of time. Like, there's either really easy, or there's like fetch quests, or there's shit that's really annoying, and the prizes and the rewards for these quests are just not good enough and not worth your time. That's why I also never really did them. There's also another one where you have to go around and catch different color Flabébé. Every single color that's available, white, red, blue, whatever other colors there are, just to unlock some of the customization for your trainer. I never did it. I'm not going to do it. A lot of the side quests I'm not going to do. And luckily there's a guide online, there's places online you can look and go through all the side quests and look at each one and what the rewards are. Going through those, there are some that give you TMs and like really good items. Like, there's one that gives you an assault vest and like some other like competitively viable items for competitive that you can do. There's one that also gives you like 2 bottle caps, which I did already. But like, there's some that give you decent items. I think one of them gets you Will-O-Wisp, TM, and some other type of stuff. But most of them are just garbage, just a waste of time. I don't even know. I don't even consider that post-game content. I don't even know why that shit's in the game. It's just like shit added to try to fill out time when it's just more annoying and bullshit waste of time than it actually is worth. So annoying. Like, a lot of the shit they give you is you can just buy with money anyways. So they just give you shit that you either pick up off the ground as like a static overworld item that you just get picking up off the ground, like tiny mushroom or pearl or all that type of shit anyways, or it's just more money, which you get plenty of. So I don't know. That's at least the overall like my main downside of the game. There's a bunch more, but this video is getting incredibly long already. I've talked about a lot of shit, and it's gonna be one of the longest videos I've done, at least for like Pokemon stuff, for quite a while. So, is this game worth $70? Well, at least people online, some of the dumb fucks online think it is. I don't know how many people, especially I think the IGN and like my entire X timeline had people praising this game. I've never lost so many fucking brain cells than I have lost over this past week, with people saying that Legend ZA is a 9 or a 10 out of 10, or somehow the best Pokemon game ever, or of all time. What are you guys smoking, and what are you guys doing? Are you guys on drugs? Some of the people that are playing this game and saying that it's the best Pokemon game of all time, like, what are you doing? Are you fucking retarded, or like, are you smoking drugs? Like, are you on a different planet? Like, I don't understand. Have you not played any other Pokemon game? Maybe that's a problem too. A lot of the people that are saying that they've only played ZA or like some like one or two other Pokemon games. They don't play every single one, or they're just really hyper casual players that just barely play Pokemon games. I have no idea. But if I'm being 100% real with you guys, this is not the best Pokemon game of all time. Not even fucking close. Not the best Pokemon game ever. If I'm gonna be 100% real with you guys, Legend ZA is mid as fuck. This game is literally the middle of the line, 5 out of 10, maybe 6 on a good day, you could argue, out of 10 type of game. Fucking terrible. I wouldn't say it's terrible, it's just mid as fuck. There's shit about that is terrible, which I talked about already, for like the last over hour already, but is this game worth $70? No, it's not. Just like Mario Kart World, this game is not worth $70. So another title on the Switch 2 that is just slopped out and thrown out just for a cheap cash grab to try to get money and try to bring people in and then make a huge profit off of it. You could argue this game isn't even worth $50. And like, that's not even with the DLC, which they probably cut out of the game from what it looks like. They cut the fucking game short, even shorter than it is for the post-game, for them to take the DLC and put it separately so they can fucking charge $30 for it in February of next year. I don't know. I don't think I'm also a content creator, like I create content for the game, so in the very end, at the very least, I make a few pennies making content for the game. I'm not gonna say I make money off it. I make a few pennies for creating content off the game. So at the very least, I make at least a little tiny bit of money back from creating content for the game for you guys. But if I was not creating content, or like my main content on this channel, or like my main games that I love to play are Pokemon, I wouldn't pay $70 for this game. I don't even know if I'm gonna buy the DLC. I do not know. At this point, I probably won't. It's going to take a lot for them to change my mind and try to make me buy the DLC. So, I don't know. But if you guys are looking to buy this game, if you guys want a mid-as-fuck experience, that is pretty much the definition of Legend ZA. If you have $70 laying around for whatever reason that's burning a hole in your pocket, by all means, go buy a ZA and go have a mid-as-fuck experience. Maybe you'll enjoy it. And like I said, I'm not lying to you guys. I did enjoy playing through the main modes of the game, like through the main story. I had a good time. I did have fun the majority of the game. There's just some major drawbacks and major downsides to this game. And it's just another one of those games that is missing so much. And it's like a half-assed thing that they kind of just throw out just to get an easy cash grab and make an easy payday. It's kind of what it really is. They could have did so much more with this game, and what they give us is just like barely anything. It's mid. It's just the bare minimum, pretty much, or slightly above the bare minimum. Not the bottom of the barrel, but like slightly above, just enough to get a passing grade. That's kind of what they threw out, and even then, that's cutting it for most people. I know all the people that are saying this is somehow the best Pokemon game of all time as well. You guys have obviously never played Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. If you guys think this game is the best game of all time, you probably think Let's Go Eevee and Pikachu are probably the holy grail of Pokemon. Those are the worst Pokemon games of all time. Those are the worst. That's the worst Pokemon game I've ever played. It's Let's Go Eevee. If you guys think that this game is somehow the best of all time, go play those games. I guarantee you. If you think this is good, you'll probably even think that's probably the holy grail of Pokemon games. If you guys have not played Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, if you're one of the fucking 0 IQ fuckers that has no brain cells and think this is the best Pokemon game of all time, and think $70 is shit. There's people that are also saying that $70 is cheap for this game. I've never seen people like talk so much fucking stupidity out of their mouth at all. Like I don't understand. How fucking stupid are you? Is that the point where like people shouldn't be able to even have an opinion if they're gonna talk that stupid? Like, I'm all for people having an opinion, but if you're gonna be one of the stupid fucks that says $70 for this game is too low, that they should have charged even more money for it, like, come on. That is one of the dumbest fucking things I've seen people say about this game. I have never seen people talk so fucking stupid. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think of Legends EA in the comments down below. Did you guys enjoy the game? What are some of the other stuff? I'm sure there's a bunch of stuff that I also forgot. What do you guys like about the game? What do you guys do not like? Are you going to be getting the game? Have you got the game? Are you going to be getting the DLC? Let me know everything in the comments down below. If you guys enjoyed this video and you guys want me to continue doing these, at the very least, leave a like. Would really appreciate it if you guys are new, subscribe. That way I can at least justify sitting here for like almost 2 hours talking to you guys and making like a 2 hour video. This video took fucking forever to make, so hopefully you guys enjoy it and hopefully it does well. Apart from that, I'm gonna get out of here. Peace out, everybody.